Hello everyone, welcome to another video, and today we're going to talk about permutations. So permutation is not a direct common questions in many interviews, but permutation can be used to solve other questions similar to like stack and queue. Nobody asks how to implement a stack or queue, but stack and queue are important to solve other questions. Similarly, we have to learn permutations or how to perform permutations on a string or an array so that we can use this concept to solve other problems. So let me explain the same on whiteboard. So now then, in our first example, it given array is 1, 2, and 3. So let me explain using string. Then we're gonna go for array, right? So let's consider a string 1, 2, 3. Let string equal to 1, 2, 3, right? And now we have to find different permutations of this string. The different permutations will be 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, then 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Okay, these are the permutations. So in this answer itself, there is a hint. You see that first time, like 1 remains constant, then permutation happens on 2, 3, then 2, 3, and 3, 2. And after in second time, 2 remains constant and permutation happens on rest of the string. Similarly, then it happens for 2 elements. Then third element remains constant and permutation happens on rest of the elements, right? So if we do a kind of decision tree on this thing, so what happened? First, we're going to start with 1, 2, 3, right? We're going to keep one constant and find rest like 2, 3. Then we're going to backtrack on 2, 3, or you feed out 2, 3 to our same recursion. So what happened? 2 will remain constant and 3 will go, because we're gonna loop through 2 and 3 here. So 2 will become constant, 3 will go in, again feed it to the same method, and here 3 will remain constant and 2 will be fed to the same function, right? So at the end case, when rest of the element, for example, we keep one constant and we'll find rest of the elements. When our length will become only 1, the rest will become 0. Length of the rest will become 0. So if rest becomes 0, then we'll be returning this back, this number, as a result, and then this result will be added to the constant, like this will become 2, 3, and this will become 3, 2, right? And then that will be returned to the top one, where 1 is constant here. So this will become 1, 2, 3, and 1, 3, 2. Perfect. Then we'll keep 2 constant and feed like 1 and 3, and the same loop will repeat. Then 1 remain constant, 3 will go in, then 3 remain constant and 1 will go in, then this will return 3, it will become 1, 3, then go to 1, 3, and then this will return 1, this will become 3, 1, and then when 3 goes, this will become 2, 3, 1. Perfect, right? So we're going to implement this string logic first, and this then we're going to convert the string thing to a array. Okay, now the first thing first, we have to create a result variable. So let result equals to a blank array where you're going to push our permutations. Then we have to loop through all the characters of our string. So let's create a loop for let I equals to 0, I less than str dot length, then I plus plus, and then we have to get our current, right? So let current equals to str of I, and then second thing we have to get the rest of the string. The rest equals to str dot slice 0 to I, so that we can exclude I, plus str dot slice I plus 1, so that it will exclude the current and create a string out of rest of the items. For example, we have 1 2 3, and our current become 2, then rest will become 1 3. And now we need to check if rest present, because for in the recursion, if the length of the str becomes just 1, the rest will become 0. That we're not going to find any rest. And if because we're not going to find any rest, we don't have to run the recursion at that time. So we have to put a condition. And but if rest exists, then we're going to run our get perm on that. So let uh, uh, rest perm equals to get perm, and we're going to feed rest. So it's going to give us like if 1 is constant, and this will run on 2 and 3, and we'll keep adding our result. So we're going to run a for loop again. So for let j equals to 0, j less than rest dot rest perm dot length, and j plus plus. And then we're gonna create our current um, plus equals to rest and j result dot push current, and if rest does not exist, else we're gonna directly push our things to current to result, whatever we find it. If rest doesn't exist, we're gonna directly push it. If rest exists, then we have to run through the loop, and we're gonna push it to result. At the end, we have to return result. So this should solve our permutation problem. Let's try to run it. Nope. What is happening? There is something happening here. 1 2 2 1. Show. Okay. So every time there is a second thing comes for 1, this creates an issue. So it is not breaking the thing. So are equal to str I. Let's try now. Perfect. So it was not setting up the one, it was getting rid of that. So once we push, then again this current, right, we are, whatever we're setting at line number 5, we're going to repeat it here, so that if I is constant for more than one strings, so we have to reset it to y. We should not wipe it out completely. That's what happening. So once we initiate that, it giving us the perfect result. So now then, let's transform this thing for an array, right? So if you see our question, it's similar, but now 1 2 3 is not a string, 1 2 3 is an array, and we have to return array of array. The items are same, 1 2 3 1 3 2, everything remains same. The concept that we find out using the string permutation, the same concept we're going to implement, but there will be a little bit different. Okay, so we're going to edit our this solution to give us the correct answer for our array. Let's create another one from array, and we can let nums. Okay, now then we're going to create result as usual. Then we're going to do num of length is fine, but now our current will become an array, right? We're going to keep appending the values, so we're going to transform it into array. Then the slice things will remain the same, right? But it will not will be string, it will become an array. So we're going to convert this to an array. So we're going to do this, then we're going to destructure it. Same way we're going to destructure the same here, so that will do the trick. And we're going to check for rest.length. If length exists, then we're going to do the same permutation uh, logic, that we're going to send our rest to the get from array method. Perfect. Now we're going to get the array here, then we're going to run our stuffs here anyway, and then we have to, rather than being append, we have to do push, right? Then we have to restructure it, because this will be an array, so we have to destructure it, and then result.push current. Perfect. And current, and again we have to reset it to numify. Everything else almost will remain the same, and this will now should work for array. So now let's run. So, our test case will not pass, but we can see the output anyway. Oops, no, from array. Let's do it here like this. Okay, make it, or let's transfer, let's anyway export this. Now these things will become array. So let's run it. we're gonna find an error anyway. Now we're gonna run it. It will fail. So it will fail in the second one, and we're gonna see the result, right? It giving us the correct result. 1 2 3 array 1 3 2, and whatever the expected result, it's giving us that. We can see that in output. Perfect. Now let's run it. Passed. So now then let's try testing this solution on in our Leet code. Perfect. Let's run it. Get perm array. Sorry, we have to now change the name. Now let's run it. What else? Just from that length, let's put another if condition. I get what happens here. If our array length will become just 1, maybe that one giving us issue maybe. Okay, we're not returning result. Result. Perfect. It worked. And now let's try to submit it. Passed. So that's that. Thank you for watching. See you on our next